Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Oscar Martinez. I am the elected Lake County Sheriff here in Indiana. I am pleased to announce the conclusion of a 4-month Lake County Sheriff's Department investigation into illegal activities at gun shows here in Lake County, Indiana. 56 individuals were arrested or detained and face dozens of criminal charges. We located and seized about 66 firearms and confiscated more than $18,000. This effort is part of a proactive approach I have launched to reduce gun violence by cutting off the illegal supply of firearms in our area. Police officers with the Special Operations Division gathered intelligence during 3 surveillance operations at gun shows held at Lake County Fairgrounds in Crown Point, Indiana. We call the project Operation Scarecrow, focusing on illegal purchases of firearms, more commonly known as straw purchases. To be clear, I support the right to legally keep and bear arms in accordance to the Constitution. It is why it is so important that we protect people who follow the law by arresting people who would illegally traffic firearms. Simply said, our investigation has helped to cut off the supply of illegal weapons at its source. So I am proud of the diligence and commitment of the Special Operations Division, who spent endless hours investigating the crimes and suspects in this case. Commander Stahl is here to explain some of the details in reference to Operation Scarecrow.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jim Stahl. I'm commander of the Special Operations Division here at the Lake County Sheriff's Department. First and foremost, I'd like to take some time to thank Sheriff Oscar Martinez and Chief Vince Balbo for giving us the assets necessary to complete this investigation. Without their support, it would have been impossible. Also, I'd like to throw a thank you out there to Prosecutor Edgar Rodriguez. He spent endless hours working with us in completing this investigation. So I'd like to let him know that we're very thankful for everything that he has done for us as well. Over a quarter of the officers here at the Lake County Sheriff's Department participated in Operation Scarecrow. Officers from every division participated in some manner to facilitate the completion of this operation. To my knowledge, it is one of the largest operations that we have ever had or been a part of here at the Lake County Sheriff's Department. We had a few goals that we were looking at when we started this operation. Number one, we wanted to make sure and keep weapons out of the hands of criminals who cannot possess them. Obviously, that is our number one goal with this operation. Number two is determine. Our sheriff has many progressive policies that he has put forth to help protect the people of Lake County. We want people to know that if they come to Lake County, that they are going to be safe. And we want the criminals to know that if you come here and decide to participate in illegal activity, that we are going to arrest you, we are going to charge you, and we are going to prosecute you. The sheriff has been 100% behind making sure that happens. He wants to keep us safe. Operation Scarecrow relied on 2 major factors that contributed to its success. First being cutting-edge technology. The sheriff's on the forefront of making sure that our police department has cutting-edge technology as far as cameras, LPRs, and including our aviation division. This new tech was vital to helping us identify suspects and bring them to justice. The second being good old-fashioned police work. That involves surveillance, reconnaissance, and interviews. Having the technology is fantastic, but having the investigative skills to put the case together and get these individuals charged is paramount. The combination really led to the success of this operation. A little bit about one of the cases that I know I found myself to be pretty interesting, and I know some of the other investigators that are up here found interesting as well. What we were seeing at some of these gun shows, a few of the cases involved individuals that were working together in larger groups. We saw individuals that would come to the gun show, and we labeled them as shoppers. These individuals would take good looks at the guns. We saw them on their phones. They're taking photographs. As they're taking the photographs, it appears as though they're texting them out to other people. A short time later, we'd see another individual approach. They'd have a conversation, and they'd go to start to purchase the firearm. A third individual comes into the mix. We determine them to be the money man. The money man has large bags, large wads of currency, whether it be in their shirts or their pant pockets. They're transferring that money to the person who is doing the purchase. From there, the firearm would be purchased, handed over to the individual, and then immediately transferred to a second, or a third individual within the gun show. From there, we would see these individuals leave the gun show. Sometimes that third individual would leave, or we'd actually see them put that firearm into a completely separate vehicle, and then that vehicle would leave the gun show. That's the type of activity that we were keying on during this investigation. It's the purchasing of the firearms and the immediate transfer to somebody else. We did find that interesting, and a few of our cases were based off these larger groups. So from here, I will turn it back over to Sheriff Martinez.
I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Chief of Police Vincent Balbo. He was in charge of coordinating this operation since day one. Go ahead, Chief.
Thank you, Sheriff. I want to be real clear. This is not the end, this is the beginning. The Sheriff has been very clear on, frankly, our mission. We're going to be very proactive with people that are involved in any aspect of violent crime. The weapons that you're filming on these tables, this is roughly 66 weapons that we feel confident would be diverted further or be used in acts of violence, including high carjackings, armed robberies, and other violent acts. It's absolutely critical that we continue this effort, and based on the results here, we are going to continue those efforts. We want to make it quite clear to you that as with any type of large drug case where you've made a large seizure of drugs, this has a direct impact. These weapons on these tables have a direct impact on the safety of every community that surrounds Lake County. Lake County, as well as across the borders. We are going to stay on this thing, we're going to be proactive about it, and we're going to continue to investigate not only the fact that weapons have been diverted illegally, but where do those weapons go after they're being diverted? Who are the individuals? Who are the groups? Who are the organized gangs or gangs factions that benefit by these weapons being diverted for their use in illegal activities? And this will continue in further investigations, including work with our federal partners where we can enhance these investigations. And again, not just identify the individuals, but identify the groups of individuals that have directed people to purchase the firearms, as well as using these firearms for additional legal acts. Thank you. Sheriff?
Thank you. I want everybody to keep in mind that these illegal purchases of weapons are used to commit other violent crimes. They're used to commit carjacking, drive-by shootings, armed robberies. So I'm proud of all the way from the administration down to the police officers on the road, our Special Operations Division, for their hard work, their dedication in bringing these suspects to justice. I also want to give out a special thanks to the prosecutor's office. We're working hard during this investigation, and our commitment in keeping Lake County safe and across the region. Thank you. We'll also take any questions.
Yeah, I have a question. So I'm trying to understand here. So what kind of set off this thing? Were you guys getting information maybe from the public that these things were going on at gun shows, and then you decided to investigate, or what kind of led to that?
Well, it starts off at the street level. We have, since taking office, I initiated a high crime unit, and the high crime unit has been working countywide, mainly in high crime areas. And they've been coming across individuals with stolen handguns or convicted felons with handguns. And it's based on the investigation and follow through, it was determined that some of these handguns were coming from the gun show as illegal purchases or straw purchases. So we decided to go ahead and start an investigation on the gun shows. And as you can see, just in 3 operations, 4 months investigation, 3 operations, how much weapons this yield and how much we seized. And a lot of these weapons were purchased illegally or in the possession of convicted felons. Juveniles were also arrested, and while we were there, thefts, snatch and grab of weapons by juveniles were also done, and we were able to apprehend them. So it was, you know, it was an eye-opener on how much activity was illegal activity was going on there at the gun shows. But again, you know, you have a lot of good law-abiding citizens that are following the law, doing the right thing, and purchasing these guns. And it's our duty as law enforcement officials to take action and bring those that are committing crimes and illegally purchasing weapons to justice.
Sure. Are any of these fully automatic?
I don't believe so. Commander, do you know if any of it? No. These are not fully automatic weapons. They're handguns. You see some rifles up here as well. And every gun here was either illegally purchased or possessed illegally.
We also had components of weapons that were being sold, like barrels of firearms. The barrels from firearms, handguns that were being purchased by some of these individuals as well. Clearly what this does is an attempt to go ahead and confuse or slow down investigation when you're trying to match a bullet that's been used with a barrel. And these parts are all interchangeable with a lot of these weapons, and they take the opportunity to come down to these gun show to purchase those components that will again further damage a potential investigation and follow up from a shooting that's taken place.
So the guns themselves are legal, but the purchase of them.
The gun themselves are sold there at the gun show, and the individuals that are purchasing the gun may be purchasing it, may have the right to purchase the weapon. They go through the background check, and but they end up they're actually purchasing the handgun for someone else. So based on our surveillance, our undercover agents, there at the scene, they were able to see that gun sometimes transferred through right in the parking lot through 3 different people, or handguns purchased in bulk, 3 or 4 handguns, and being distributed through 2 or 3 different vehicles. And then when our special operations and high crime unit will go and make a stop on that vehicle, it was determined that those individuals were convicted felons or had no permit to possess a firearm. How about?
Thank you. You're referring to the gun show at the Lake County Fair?
Yes, at the Lake County Fairgrounds in Crown Point.
Do they have any idea, or you have any estimate on what percentage of purchases at the fairgrounds involve straw purchases? Like how big of a problem is this area?
Well, I mean, just this right here, I think it's a problem. You know, just seeing the weapons here, just how much of a problem it is. It is our duty as law enforcement officers to investigate these type of illegal purchases and bring those individuals to justice. Again, there are a lot more legal purchases that are being made there, but it's our duty to investigate those that are illegally purchasing the weapons or transferring the weapons.
So you don't know?
No, I don't know. We don't keep count on how many guns were sold there. Based on our surveillance and undercover officers, we were determined, and technology, running those individuals and finding out that they're convicted felons, that's how we targeted those individuals.
As you were making arrests and gathering more information, did you find any information that, or that showed that some of these were purchased by people from other states and then they were illegally purchasing them and taking them illegally to other states outside?
I'll go ahead and turn that over to the commander here.
Most of these firearms were purchased brand new, so that kind of eliminates them coming from other areas. We did not let any of these weapons go out of state lines, so everything that we did here was within the state of Indiana. So that probably doesn't answer your question fully.
Some individuals were from Illinois, some were from here, Lake County,
Yes.
Indiana.
Yes, but we here never let any of these weapons leave the state, obviously, and as I had said, most were brand new, purchased brand new from the dealers there. Now, each one of these will go through a background check. they'll go through IBIS, and I mean, if that does pop up through, then obviously that will be forwarded to the investigator and proper charges will be amended.
Commander, you mentioned deterrent as a purpose of this operation, or one of them. When's the next gun show, and should people be mindful?
We're always watching. We are always watching. We will be there. Like I said, we want people to know that you are more than welcome to come here and purchase a weapon legally. That we're definitely a proponent of that. What we are making sure doesn't happen are the people who are not supposed to possess these weapons, purchase them, or be in possession of them from some type of illegal transfer. That's what our main objective is. So I would say that if hopefully people will understand that we are watching.
All right, thank you very much for coming out. That will conclude our press conference. Have a good day.